Welcome to CV Hustle, the podcast created to educate, inform, and inspire entrepreneurship here in our Coachella Valley.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Robert Ramirez.
And I'm Fina Ramirez.
And this is CV Hustle, the podcast dedicated to educating, informing, and inspiring local entrepreneurship here in the Coachella Valley. And, you know, on this podcast, our goal is to sit down and talk to the best entrepreneurs here in the Coachella Valley and kind of pick their brains. So today we've got a really special guest, nothing but illustrious guests on this show.
That's right.
Today we've got Mr. Mariano Ramirez and Yvette Ramirez of M Design Group. They're, architectural graphic design group, right, guys? And
residential design firm here in Coachella Valley. So anything from remodels to new construction to commercial TIs. So just to get specific,
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're all about. We want to get into specifics. So if you're into, architect and plans and drawing plans, or maybe in school for plans, this is the episode for you. You want to check it out because these guys started, probably just like you, from working a 9-to-5 and built their own business. So, we want to start with the beginning with you too. I want to take it way back. So, are you guys Coachella Valley natives? Are you from here originally?
We are, yeah. Before we start, I brought you guys a little gift. Got some hats for you.
I get the gray one.
Any alcohol too?
Not today. So Fina gets her first pick there. So
very nice. Well, thanks, guys.
Thanks for having us. It's quite exciting. You guys started this up. We're happy for you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I think I consider myself a native.
Were you born and raised here? Or
I was actually born in Torrance, California, the ghetto of LA County. But nothing I can remember. I mean, I was 4 or 5 years old when my parents decided to move down here. And just been here ever since. So consider myself a native.
So what school did you go to growing up? And
Cat City, and so I did Kauai, actually that's Palm Springs, and then Landau. What is that? What's the Bighorn Middle School? James Workman.
Oh, I don't know.
And then we did Cat City High.
From
Cat City High here.
You're a native, basically.
2005.
Oh,
yeah. Like I said, I was.
You grew up here. You
4 or 5 years old.
You've been here since.
But
you're killing me.
I like you.
Yeah, I mean,
Bobby
it's
was
kind
here
of similar to my story.
I have very small memories very little memories of living out in LA, but mostly everything that I can remember is here. So.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about how your business started. So you, after high school, what did you end up doing, or what kind of led you in that path? Or did you always have an idea that was something that you wanted to get into, or was it something you stumbled upon and really liked?
After high school, I got a job at a shipping warehouse out in Palm Springs, and at that time, 2005, I was making $9.50 an hour, which was
mad loot right there.
That was good, man. That was good. So, I told my parents, hey, I think I'm gonna try this out for a couple years, and now as growing up, I guess you that's not what you want to hear. You know what I mean? You want your kid to go straight to higher education and whatnot. So I did that for a couple years. I didn't know I was gonna do this, to be honest. I've always been into art, the arts, drawing, painting.
So is there somebody in your family that has an art gene, or?
My older sister, she is 4 years older than I am. She's fantastic, man.
Really?
She's great at what she does. So she was very inspiring to me. She did a lot of art before I was even good at it.
Oh, wow.
If anybody in the gene, it's definitely her. And then I come to find out later in life that my father is actually musically inclined. So, a little bit of the creative.
It's art in the blood, huh?
Everything. So I knew it was going to be something with, creativity, but I didn't know what,
Yeah, just had to come to you.
And we haven't heard from Yvette, so are you a native, or where are you from?
Listen, I was just trying to say here, but y'all really want me to talk?
Oh, you're in front of the mic, so you gotta give a little back.
Yeah, born and raised here in the Valley. Born and raised my entire life, East Valley, from CV. Come on.
Hello.
Yeah. Born and raised in the Valley.
Good.
No, but Yvette is my biggest supporter. So, and probably one that
I'm amazing.
probably the one that definitely pushed me to start my own business when the time came. So,
So, okay, but how did that get started? So, like, you were working at the warehouse thing, right? And then what? Did you say, hey, I want to start going to school? Did you start doodling and say, oh, I'll work at this lead? Like, what do you think ended up?
I mean, it was all party mode back then,
As it should be.
I mean, you're young, and like I said, making $950. I mean, I had cash in my pocket at the time,
Sure.
and I just started, effing up, started getting into trouble, and just there one night, my stepdad, sat me down and said, "Hey, can I cuss on this shit?"
Yeah, well, please do.
Absolutely, it's a podcast, man. There's you can talk about whatever you
So
want.
here's for those Spanish speaking guys. This is what he told me. He said, "No te quiero decir que estás valiendo verga, porque yo valí verga, pero estás valiendo verga." And he's from Sinaloa, so the word verga is just thrown around for everything. So, but it means, hey, you're a fuck up. Like what are you trying to do? I don't want to say you're a fuck up because I was a fuck up, but you're a fuck.
Wow.
Pretty much, and it was an eye opener. I mean,
respect that,
yeah,
right?
I come from a divorced household where my mom didn't have too much authority over me, and I just needed somebody to say it, And when he said it, it kind of really hit home. And I think probably that week I signed up at COD.
Wow.
And just hey, what did they got to offer? I went to go see the counselors, and I got one of those little pamphlets on the wall, and architecture was one of them. So I looked it up and saw the stuff you could do with it, and I said, well, let's give it a shot. The program was 2 years. Took me more than 3 to complete it.
That's okay.
But yeah, I mean, take your time. It's everything will kind of settle in place like it did, man. And but yeah, that's kind of how it played out, and I got into the architecture program. COD actually has a fantastic architectural program.
What's the name of the guy there?
Bert Batanga.
He's been there forever, right?
He's great.
He's a cool guy.
He's the architectural director there, and he is an architect, I believe, and he's done a lot of great stuff here in the Valley.
A super respected guy in the community.
Yeah, he's fantastic, and he's super down to earth. I mean, got classic cars in his garage, and he'll sit down and just chat with you if you need to.
Well,
Was it year 2 or year 3 we met? 2? No, 3.
Probably year 3.
Yeah.
And
That's where we met, at COD.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, you know what though? You got to think about, like, when your stepfather said that to you. You could have just brushed it off and said whatever,
Like
but
most teenagers.
right. And so that had to have been something that you really needed to hear, that you probably already knew in your own head, and was like, you know what? All right, enough.
yeah, I think you need to want it. You know what I mean? You need to have that want and that need, and some people need that, and some people just don't want it. Some people just want to cruise it and do the 9 to 5s and do part times and whatever it might be. But if you really want it, and you get that one person in life that just kind of gives you the right nudge, I think that's all you need.
Yeah. And it sounds like you probably respected him enough too, because, we always say, like, the opinions of others don't really matter unless you respect them. Right. So otherwise, like,
yeah, 100%. I mean, that guy's, he's still in my life, and I love him as my father, and he did a lot of stuff that,
He continues to see.
still does. But yeah, he was in a place at the right time. Growing up as a young male, he just kind of filled in the blanks. You know what I mean? So I gained a lot of respect from him, and still do, and still look up to him, and he still gives me good advice. So, and I think you never stop learning. No matter how old you are,
you can't.
you can't. You just always grow and grow. So.
Yeah.
So when you go take these classes at COD, what does that look like? Is that a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday? What does it look like?
Super flexible. They have the program only offers a certain amount of classes per semester.
Okay.
So they split it up pretty good to be able to get a part-time job. Whatever it is you want to do, pick up some more GE classes. So it's very flexible. They got multiple hours for each class.
What do you start learning about in the beginning? Because, it's the whole new world out there, right? Learning architecture and how things are built and why they're built the certain way they are.
You came from no background at all, right? You were just, hey, this is like a cool class to take.
Sure.
You're starting from level,
Yeah, I mean, they have, it's not all just methods of construction, they definitely throw in, I'd say probably 80% creative, 20%, technical as far as construction goes. So you go in there, and I think they still offer hand drafting classes, even though it's not really what the field is using currently. It's all computer based now. But I just saw one of our friends is taking the program now, and they're still doing roof plans with pencil.
Really?
Which I think is good. You gotta
learn that stuff.
I think you do. I think they make you get real down and dirty. Start from the basics, and then you build. I think they build them up there, which I said it's a great program here in the Valley. You don't have to go far for it, and it's a good starting point, because from there you do your transfer to whatever university or private school that you want.
When you said about the hand drafting, like I own a tile store. And when I'm working with people and a lot of people aren't visual. So when you just sit there and go, you know what, let me just sketch this up, and I start drawing, like, you get mesmerized, even something. So just when you do that and you're putting, pen to paper, it just is something about it that's just really, really cool.
It is. And I mean, it's kind of a reflectiveness of your character too, the way that you sketch and the way that you draw and how you kind of put ideas on paper.
Yeah.
So I think it's crucial in this career path to be kind of in touch with the basics and the freehand.
So you're going through the class and you're taking tests, I'm assuming, and you're passing this test and things. Like, what you said it's supposed to take 2 years, but it took you 3. So like, what was that extra year? How did that pan out?
It has to do with your scheduling, how intense you want to load yourself up per semester, on top of, how your GEs look. If you come out of high school barely like I did, you don't have AP, you don't have extra credit.
You're already behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, big time, man. So, I mean, and you can tell this seriously. So, I mean, you can tell kids nowadays that are in, sophomores or seniors and say, hey, dude, it's time to pick it up, and they won't listen until you go through it.
It's too late, right?
It's too late, yeah. So, but fortunately, there's places like COD that you can make up the stuff pretty quickly,
Sure.
And it all has to do with, like I said, super flexible. So you load yourself how you think you can handle it, because if you set yourself up for failure too, that could be discouraging. You know what I mean?
You do too much too fast, right?
Yeah, and you start not making the cut, and then you got to repeat the year after, and so
that's a pain.
And like I said, it's up to you. Get your feet wet, and get a couple of classes per semester and take your time.
So is that were you taking a class in architecture, or how did you two? Hell no.
I studied nursing. I got pretty close, didn't finish, pretty close. But I guess one of his GEs was speech, and as was mine.
Which I got a better grade at, by the way.
But I was better at.
He cheated off my notes here.
He's like super in public speaking. Like, it's not like it doesn't come easily. Like, he has to do all the practice, all the points, walk this way, walk that way. And I was like, so what are we talking about? Like, oh, you're supposed to, come up with a speech about XYZ. And I was like, give me 10 minutes.
I got this.
And he would get better grades, I guess, because he would follow oh, you're supposed to do this, that, the third, just walk this way, walk that way.
Yeah.
But I was able to I'm not scared. You want me to go up in front of the class? No, that's fine. And that's where we made complete opposites. He's super strategic, and I'm winging it.
Somebody else we know, right? Your strengths are your weaknesses.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty shy, honestly.
Yeah, I'm real. I don't think it's shy. I think it's I kind of overthink things and like things to be more structured.
I don't.
So and she's kind of more improv.
I don't.
Free flowing, So she's more of the hand sketching, and I'm more of the computer, draft.
It's a good reference.
He sent me a meme the other day on Instagram. It said, why do the quiet guys always date the fiery women, or why are they attracted to the fiery women? And the response was, because someone has to tell the waiter that I ordered mashed potatoes, not a baked potato.
Damn. Yeah. Damn.
It's okay. It's okay. All right. So walk us through. You graduated and
COD. Now you got to go to the fort.
Yeah. It's a process. You know, it's a process. And you know what? I used to get a lot of shit from my cousins and be like, dude, how many fucking years did you do in school? Like 10 years? Like.
And now they're.
It is what it is, man.
Can we borrow some money?
I know.
Exactly.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Once you do the program at COD, you're able to build enough kind of an academic portfolio, and you're able to now apply at different universities, whether it's Cal Polys. I went the private university route. It's a lot less expensive than the Cal Polys or Cal States. Yeah, so definitely look into that. And yeah, you build this portfolio on top of, you know, just grades and curriculum. You build an actual architectural portfolio. So you show your work, you show your 3D models, you show your
that you can actually
that you can pull it off.
Apply what you've learned.
And then they'll accept you, and they'll bypass the first or second year, and then you're ahead of the game now. How you should have been in high school, you know. And then you get into the program, and typically it's a 4-year program, 4 or 5 year program.
So where did you end up going?
I went to San Diego, but I went to a private university. It's called New School of Architecture and Design.
And so did you moved out to San Diego?
We did, yeah. We ended up moving out there. We stayed out there for about 5 years.
Really?
And we almost stayed.
I did not know that.
Really?
I didn't know that.
We weren't dating for very long, and he's like, so listen, I want to go to San Diego. You want to come with me? And I was like, fuck it. Like, literally, I'm like, yeah, let's go. And my mom's like, what?
How long have you known each other at this point?
Like a year.
Oh,
It's like, you're,
Okay.
what? So I was like, yeah,
Your mom.
we're going.
Okay,
It's fine. We're going.
So where did you? So you guys went out one weekend and said, "Let's go look for a place to stay." Or
Oh no,
did they offer housing?
it's crazy how everything kind of just
Small world.
falls
Small
into
valley.
place. It falls into place. So Burbatang at the architectural program here at CUD, he's really big on Cal Polys. So there's 2 Cal Polys, one in Pomona and one in San Luis Obispo, but it's just freaking expensive. You know, a semester is, I think by now it's probably well over $40,000 a semester. Or a year or something, whatever that might be. It's insane. It's insane. And
It's ridiculous.
New School was kind of that new kind of the new one that was starting to get talked about in the program, because everybody kind of knows each other at that time that you're about to transfer. Everybody knows each other, and they're like, "Oh, New School." And I'm like, "What is that? You know, what's New School?" And you look it up, and it's $20,000, so it's half the price.
So you're like, heck yeah,
It's the same accreditation. What was the question? I forgot the question.
The question was, did you go out there and look for a place ahead of time?
So, you know, you go through this 2 or 3 year program at COD, so you know people. And one of my buddies took off a year ahead of me, and he went to New School. So when we heard about New School and it was $20,000, I reached out to him. I said, "Hey, you know, what do you think of New School? And I'm about to take a tour." And he's like, "Dude, it's legit. Come check it out. And by the way, if you need a spot, I got a room for rent."
Wow.
So we're like,
That works.
"Fuck yeah, dude." And he's like, you get the homie discount, blah, blah.
I was working at JFK here locally still in that time. It turned out, so that guy's mom was a nurse at JFK who I knew.
Super. I mean, you guys know it's a small valley.
all connected.
This freaking valley is small, so don't burn yourself, guys.
Don't burn bridges.
Don't
That's recently.
true.
That's all,
man. So
burn bridges, because you never know. You may.
Bob's got a good story.
Yeah, but what's not about me today?
Okay.
we'll see that.
That's a little bonus coverage.
It's a bonus.
Uncut.
Watch it
series.
later.
Yeah. Yeah. So we did the tour and made a deal with the homie, and you know, the rest is history. We went out there and we actually I graduated in 2014, 15. Started working out there at a firm, and shit, we almost stayed out there. I mean, I ended up taking over the apartment
Place, man.
or the condo, and the homie ended up taking off to LA and doing his own thing. So
Okay, but so let's talk a little bit about New School. So how many kids are there? Like, is it a big school?
it's about as big as a half a San Diego block, if you can picture that.
Okay.
So it's a building. It's 2 stories
My
big.
mind went to Little Italy.
Yeah, you could think of that. Half a block wide on the whole street. 2-story building, super small. But the way that they set it up, it's fantastic. It's a 24-hour studio.
Really?
Yeah, 24 hours.
Work 24 hours.
They give you your little car.
Right?
And
Yeah,
Like I work nights and I can go in at night and do my
There's
homework.
security. You get to meet all the bums out there. You make friends with them and shit, you know. And
City living, man.
yeah, and it's crazy. It's a different lifestyle.
Out here. Excuse me.
Different lifestyle, but the setup they have there is legit. And you just do your thing, man. You know, you work as much as you want.
So what did this school and how is it different from COD? In like what way?
It gets about 100 times faster. So COD is a good program. But they give you a project and they're like, you know, design a 2-bedroom house and you have 4 months to do it. Yeah, I'm just exaggerating, right? And you get to new school and they're like, you have to do a full-on case study of Albert Frey in Palm Springs and you have till tomorrow to do it for 2 days. and they just hand you your it's not even a whole course curriculum. It's just one project curriculum. It's like 3 pages. And they just briefly explain it and they let you go and they say you're presenting, it's Monday and you're presenting Wednesday at 5 p.m. So, and we're going to have 2 architects from so-and-so and they're going to critique the shit out of you.
Nice.
And that's all it is. You're just getting bashed on for 4 years.
Just like nitpick at everything. He's back all stressed. He's like,
and here's where the COD public speaking, you know, came into play because I was able to structure my presentations really well.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that all kind of lined up.
It's all full fucking circle, man. Everything. So, and yeah, I mean the long nights, the 24-hour studio kind of gets you ready for real life and real deadlines, and they just really, you know, mold you into a machine, man.
Right.
You know?
So are they teaching you CAD? Are they teaching you Rivet? Like what are they teaching you software? Right.
I mean, I would think, right? You guys all work on software, right?
Yeah, it's I mean, there's
Standard.
in the industry, there's multiple software programs. There's Rhino, there's Revit, AutoCAD, and every office is different. You know, there's offices that are Revit, only Revit, and there's some that are only AutoCAD. But yeah, the program teaches you all the software that are available, and
so they go through the softwares with you guys.
all of them.
That's
You
pretty.
go through all.
That's because that's real important, right?
Yep.
Because you can immediately get a job.
Exactly.
Use this. Oh, I know how to do that.
Yeah, and
I don't think the 4-year universities do that very well. Like you could have a real smart kid come in out of college, not know how to use Excel or Word. You know, basic stuff that you got to use in the office. So that's great that they.
Yeah, I mean, and because it's a private school, it's just all driven behind architecture and design. So you don't have to. I mean, you do have to do your trigonometry and all that crap, you know. But there's no fluff to it, you know. And they just, like I say, they just build you into this architecture machine, and then you get out of school and you have this fantastic resume that's just like shit. You could do it all, you know. And where do you want to go? And that's the point, right? That's the point. To pay 20 G's a.
Impress myself.
Yeah, I mean you're paying 20 G's a year for this shit, so you better come out with something. And yeah, I mean I everything that I learned there, they gave me a broad set of tools that, you know, are just great for when shit gets tough, you know. And yeah, it's all around everything, all programs that are in the field currently.
So you graduated in what, 2014? You said
15, I think so. Yeah.
Still in San Diego.
What were you doing at that time? Were you working at the hospital?
Yeah, so I worked at here in Indio at JFK. I worked there for a total of 10 years, actually.
So you were still here, in San Diego?
Well, I
Commuting?
worked 12-hour shifts, so I would group my 3 days together, crash at my mom's, and then as soon as I got out of my last shift, take a nap and head back. So I was off 4 days in San Diego and 3 days working here and just crashing at my mom's.
When you're in love, you're in love. Baby.
That's right, baby.
What you will do for love?
We'll try.
I guess.
Wow.
Really, it worked out great for me.
Well, you were young. You could handle it.
Yeah.
She could, but the Toyota Corolla didn't. So.
No, that's why he bought me a brand new car. And he continues.
It was fun. You know what? It was an experience. I mean, we talk about it all the time. We're like, fuck, we were
so young, so dumb. I'm like, it was fun.
It was tough. It was tough.
Yeah.
You know, it was
tough.
life at that age. You know, life out of university.
God, like we felt so grown up, and then like when you really think back, I'm like, fuck, we were kids. What were we doing?
Okay, so you were in school and were you working? Because you're working.
Oh yeah.
So you were working doing.
Yeah, it started off. I mean, obviously when we went out there and did the big move, it was strictly school full time. I mean, that's what you call it, full time student. And after a while, I mean, you kind of get the hang of it, you know, and then you figure out that you can move your workloads with the 24-hour studio to make room for work or whatever.
Job.
Yeah,
Sure.
have a social life, you know. And eventually I ended up getting a job out there at a firm that I worked after I graduated as well. So
At an architecture firm.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
And then that final year, I finally was like, listen, like this drive is like, that's enough. Like, I think it was like 5 years
No.
Yeah, we're on the front years of
of
commuting.
commuting. And I was like, I'm done. Like we said, until you graduated, you've graduated. So either I quit my job and find something here. Are we settling down here or are we coming back home? And then we started like, okay, well, it kind of like looking at the prices for the area
Oh,
compared to like here.
it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, compared to here. And he was like, yeah, babe, we're going home.
Well, not only that, you know, we were, it's fun, you know, San Diego, I mean,
Sure.
you know, that place is legit.
Beach, the weather's beautiful.
Mission Beach, you know, it's legit out there, downtown.
So much to do all the time.
You know, gas lamp, Padres, like it was party mode too out there.
Padres fan?
No, but it was, that
just
was like
wondering.
a couple blocks away, you know, you got fucking live baseball going on. So it's like,
I mean, it's cool.
it's legit, you know, you got the beach, you got Coronado.
His school was in downtown San Diego. So there was like,
Yeah.
always like hustle and bustle, always something to do, just even around the school.
So we were pretty dead set at that time. You know, I had a full-time job at a firm. I just got out of school. She actually got a job at Sharp Hospital after the 5, I believe. So we were set, but every damn weekend we were coming back to the Valley, and
Coming back for
family parties, and then after a while, you know, it was you know, we'd go every other 2 weeks, and then every other 3 weeks, and then we started missing out on a lot. You know, parents got older, your nieces and nephew got older,
True.
and then you know, on top of the cost of living and everything, we just kind of, you know.
We had a come to Jesus moment.
Yeah, like what do we want? You know, if we live out here, we're by ourselves.
Yep.
And then back home, you know, we got family that's getting older, and we're missing out on a lot of shit. And we decided to make the move. We jumped back, and it was just too fast paced. It was too far from home. It was expensive.
We wanted to start a family, and we were like, how are we going to do it by ourselves? Like we need our
That's
our
true.
village. Like I can't.
Absolutely.
And there's something about the Valley. It just keeps bringing you back. A little drag your ass back. You know?
That's true. It does.
Nothing wrong with it.
I mean, when I was right. Well, when I was young, I used to hate this place. You know, because I'm a little older than you guys, so there was nothing out here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's no social scene. You had to drive to Riverside to go to a club back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there was like one club, and that was it. The casinos were barely getting popping, but now it's like
You got everything.
it's changed completely. There's, you know, we got a professional hockey.
Yeah, it's growing. Dude. It's growing fast.
Crazy.
Yep. Yeah.
We were just talking about that. We have rush hour traffic now.
Yeah, it's curriculum.
But our little valley has exploded in the last 10 years. You guys have seen.
That's why we
you
live
know,
in the outskirts. It's great.
Yeah, you guys live in sticks, man.
Yeah.
Rancho Ramirez out there.
Love it.
Okay, so let's get back to so tell me. So you started with an architecture firm here in the Valley.
Yeah. We ended up.
It was residential.
Yeah, after we had that come to Jesus moment, as she calls it. You know, I applied out here, and like I said, the resume that we built was great, and it was, you know,
You got a job immediately.
You weren't making $9.50 an hour anymore.
I wasn't, but I was still. It was still it's a standard paying job. You know, it's an entry level position at an architectural firm. I was at a Pressvuxic Architects, great company out here, architectural firm, and those guys are great. You know, they Taught me a lot. I was there for 2 years, and then got laid off, unfortunately. And
I remember that because
you do, and you
to tell the story about Yvette working. So how we know
I'm their favorite, guys. Okay.
Yvette's iPay's all-time employee of the year.
that's
But-
Ooh, he said it. Ooh, someone get Elizabeth.
No, well, sorry, Ellie.
It's on the record now, dude.
It's on the record now.
edit that out.
I know.
Do not edit that out.
But yeah, so we know Yvette and Mariano because Yvette was his first golden employee.
OG.
That's what we're about.
She was working out of the tile showroom.
Yeah.
She really
I remember that.
It was just.
She took a chance with us too,
Yeah.
so we
was
always
like-
be in debt to her because she busted her ass for.
I left the hospital, and then he got that firm job, and then literally like down the street was iPay just starting. They were looking for someone. He was like, just do it.
Yeah, like how many clients did we have when you first started? Like 25?
Yeah.
Like nothing.
I remember the story
was so
though
nice.
when she got hired.
Tell us the story. Tell us the
I
story.
remember the story when she got hired that it was between Yvette and a sec. Can I say that? Yeah. All right. Okay. Good.
Years later.
I didn't hear this story.
out of the
for 10
bank.
years.
Well, how about you? How about you tell if you know how it happened that it was.
So we interviewed 2 girls, and one of the girls just rubbed me the wrong way. I did not like her, and that's of course the one that Bobby wanted to hire. But I really liked Yvette, so I called her after hours, and I'm like, "Hey, want the job? Yeah, okay. Well, you need to call." What did I say?
No, she was like, and mind you, I was literally at home with Mario, like, oh, I'm going to send a thank you email. Thank you for the interview. And well, help me word it. Because he's like always so professional, right? And then I get this call. It's this tile designs. And I was like, what the fuck? And I answered, and she's like, do you want the job? And I'm like, am I hired? And she's like, this is what you got to do.
Wow.
She's like, go ahead and send Robert an email and say thank you, but make sure you say, and then I don't know, she like told me like exactly what to say to get him like to say yes. Cause we know our men. And
Get played all the time, man. Shit.
and here we are. And I'm the number one. Everybody loves
It
me.
was a total setup, man.
It was.
Total setup.
And did I not know better?
best thing
that ever happened to
iPay.
Well, I mean, here we are 10 years later, and Yvette and Mariano still in our life.
There you go. Yeah.
It worked out.
That's a good sign, right?
So much fun. And then I mean, I've been in and out of iPay for a while.
Yeah,
now.
you always keep dragging you back. Come deal with your clients, Yvette. They want to talk to Yvette.
No, it's fine. So and then the first time I came back, one of the clients, I answered the phone, and I was like, oh yeah, iPay. It's Yvette. How can I help you? Oh my God, you guys must be really busy if you're answering phones. And I had been gone for like 2-3 years, and I was like, sure.
Whatever you want.
Touching you the whole time.
I've been here the whole time.
Okay, so what year was that? Because you started your business in 2017.
2000.
Yeah, so he was. So kind of take us through the progression. You're not working at that architect.
Yeah, I think it is.
They came in and said,
You want me to cry? Is that I'm kidding. No, it's
your stepping stone
it's
to
two-
something
it's two-
better, right?
It's
This is what happened to all of us,
2017.
right?
Well, here's what happened. And I think it goes back to why I'm here now is, like I said, it's a great company. Got nothing to complain about, but I always wanted more. I was a job captain at the firm, and I wanted to do more. I wanted to be a project manager, and project manager. I was doing some of the project management roles already with some supervision, but I felt like I could do it. I felt like I was ready, but obviously every system has its own structure. Every company has their own structure, and your employee's not going to tell you how to do it if this company's been around for over 20 years. They have their own system, and I just wasn't the right fit for the company. At least that's what I think, and I wanted more pay, and obviously that's not good for a company either. So it just didn't work out, and they sat me down and said, hey, there's not going to be enough work to maintain you, so you're getting laid off. But I think it was good because that did me a favor. It allowed me to get unemployment, right? To figure out
some income coming.
Yeah. You figure out what the next step is, and it was either look for another firm job or whatever the hell comes next. I didn't know at that time, but what I did know is that if I go to a firm, I'm not gonna be happy because I'm gonna be in the same fucking position that I was in, not making enough, and not getting the responsibility that I wanted, right? So luckily, the government gives you unemployment, and it allows you to at least get some sort of income while you figure the whole thing out. And I think we even did some work for you for a little bit. You wanted some help 3D modeling right when I got laid off.
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember that.
Too. Yeah, I think we were like,
You wanted to learn SketchUp, and
I did.
I think Yvette told you, hey, well, my husband, I don't know, XYZ, and then you said, well, have him come in and help me, build, learn SketchUp, I think is what
Yeah, and then my ADHD said, no, girl, you can't
Doesn't do
remember
Spain.
that.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay somebody to do this.
Forget it.
and then you ended up paying us to do some of your drawing. So
Yes.
it's little things that
And that's when I was also like getting my tile line off the ground.
Right.
And I did my little,
that was way later. It was, yeah.
But it was like, yeah, not that.
like he was super bummed. I remember you coming in going, man, Mario's like super bummed. And then, so and then like, where did it come from? Like, I can just go out and do this. Did somebody contact
Where
you?
did the light bulb go off and say, hey, I can just do this myself,
Well, here's
that.
Here's the thing.
myself.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, you lose your full-time income, right, which is pretty drastic.
We talked about
I think I don't think we had our own place at that time, did we?
No.
So I think we were living at her parents' house. So
Came back and we moved in with my parents.
the goal was to live with her parents for a certain amount of time to save up for our own place. Kind of the typical, kid story. Can I come?
kind of good though that happened.
Yeah. So,
Great.
I was expecting to make, $30, $40 an hour with my 10 years of school. And the whole time, like I said, my cousins would bash on me, hey, how long did you go to school? What are you making? And I'd be like, dude, like, I think I ended up making 25 an hour at the most there, which was not bad, not bad. But you had kids in the same field or even in construction that were making over $30 an hour. And I was like, how the fuck did I spend, $40,000, $60,000 in school and wasted so much time? So it was pretty depressing at that point.
You couldn't see the flip side quite yet.
Nothing. I was just like, what the, what was that about? Like it's just some fucking kind of joke, and yeah, it sucks, but I think in the midst of all that, it was just time. It was a perfect opportunity, it was the alignment of all the planets to do something. So I ended up putting an ad out for design work and drafting on freaking Craigslist. And it was free back then. Right now they charge you $5 $5 an ad. We have a reoccurring Craigslist ad.
Awesome.
And that's we just left it alone, and we still get business from there. Yeah, I ended up putting my ad in there, and I said, drafting and construction documents, because I knew how to do everything. Like I said, I was doing project management. I was talking to consultants. I was doing construction administration. I mean, everything from beginning to end, I knew how to do, and I knew how to talk to people. I knew the terminology. And so I said, fuck it, I'm getting unemployment. Let's see what happens, and
The unemployment was starting to run out, I think.
No,
before it ran out.
No. And it was sick. I was getting $900
we didn't use it
every 2 weeks. So it's like, that was legit, And I was getting little jobs like yours and draft this for me, and I would be like $80 or whatever. And it's like, the money was not bad. It's just supplemental income. And like I said, we were at our parents', so I didn't have to worry about rent. We didn't have kids. And so it was a little bit easier on us to kind of try this thing out. And,
somebody called you from that ad?
Yeah, things started to roll in.
He just literally was like, I really think I want to branch out on my own. And I think it was like a few months into that ad when I was like, do it. Go for it. He's like, but what if? I'm all, but what if you don't?
Well, here's what happened. And shout out to Shields Residential. They're a construction company out here. And do you know Shields Residential? They do all the Modernism Week. They did what are those homes you guys do? You guys spend so much time and then present them on Modernism Week?
I don't know. Anyways, they can cut that out.
It is a Modernism Week home.
Yeah, you do one. It's always like you do all the tile for them. What's it called? What do they call those homes?
Modernism Week, right? Yeah, it's just Modernism Week.
All right, yeah. So this guy calls me, right? And he's remodeling his house. I think that's how I played out. He's remodeling his house, and I go and sit and talk to him, and it's the first meeting that we have in person with somebody off the Craigslist ad, and he's like, okay, cool. Like, send me a proposal for your work and I'll make the check out to you. And I said, hey, I'm getting unemployment right now. I said, can I get cash? And then he looks at me. He's like, I can give you cash. He's like, but
I want a discount.
no, I mean, no,
Give me a
not
cash
at the
deal.
time. So she's like, I can give you cash.
Honey. No trade secrets.
I can give you cash. Somewhere along the lines where I can give you cash, but I probably won't get you for the next one. Somewhere along those lines. Like, I have to be able to write this shit up.
You need to get legit.
Yeah, because he writes all his stuff off, and obviously, and now that we're business owners, I understand, right? So he's like, we could do this. I'll give you cash or whatever you do. I can give you a check and not tell Uncle Sam that you got it. And he's like, or you can go legit, and then I'll give you more work after this. I was like,
And we'll see where it takes us.
well, and then that was the first job that I ended up taking. I said, I think I talked to her for a little bit, and I said, hey, this is what's going on, but it's going to cut the $900 a week, or $900 biweekly from the government. I said, the fuck do we do, And you can go, do some cricket shit and start getting, so it's not reported and all that, but we don't want to do that. And we made the decision to say, you know what, let's do it. Let's stop reporting unemployment and get this job, and then we'll see what happens.
So how did you know how to price his job out?
Because I've been doing this for, before.
Experience that? Did you deal with the pricing? When you were
Yeah, I did everything.
Already kind of had an idea what something like that
Yeah, I mean,
would cost.
you're in the industry long enough, and you see the proposals, and you see the deposits and all that, and then it's all time based too. How long is it going to take you to draw it up? And one thing that I was kind of calculating, and one thing that I suggest for people trying to jump into this game is figure out what your biweekly income was, and then, or let's just say the month. You're making X amount a month.
Sure.
If you can match that on your own, then you're solid. Go to the next month, and go to the next
Sounds
month.
like you.
Yeah, and then after a while, that monthly turns times 10, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, hell yeah, dude.
And then I think you did soul prop for like a year or two.
Yeah, and then that's when you guys came in.
And when I turned to Robert and was like, hey, so how do we do this corp stuff? And
I think we took you guys out to sushi. We took you out to Dragon Sushi to pick your brains.
The Dragon Sushi.
Yep.
and then we became
Hipped you guys to the game, man.
And it's kind of like my roommate from San Diego. It's just all the pieces just kind of, they're all laid out. It's just how do you put them all together? And we're fortunate for you guys were there, with the whole hiring of Yvette, and then it's all crazy,
It's funny how the universe works.
It is, man. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and
So,
shit's just gonna
'cause
fall in place.
we went to dinner, and then you were like, you wanted to incorporate. So Bobby, did you help them get an EIN and then all that, right? And then you have
All
to
that
go
stuff.
open a bank account under that name. And then
To do the setup and all. It
was a show. It was a show.
and you guys immediately saw the benefit, right? At first you're like, oh shit, I got to pay all these
It was
personal
just like-
taxes, but
Yeah.
in the long run, when you go turn in that W-2 instead of that 1099, you realize, hey, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not owing all that 22% of this 1099.
And it's a freaking learning curve, man.
I think we're still learning.
We still don't get it all,
learning too.
We're
We've been
still
doing this 10, 12 years, and we're still learning every day. There's not a day go by, right, that we got to kind of put fire out and learn.
Yeah, but like I said, it's there's definitely risk involved in all this shit, and I think if you just have enough tools to chip away at all those, you'll be fine. You know what I mean?
So you were a sole proprietor for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that we did the same thing, and then it was like, oh my God, our first tax bill was it hurt.
Yeah.
Don't do what we
Don't
did.
do what we did.
Yeah.
But like I told them, the reason we did that was because it was like $800 and some to incorporate at that time, and we were like, we don't got that money, so we just did that. But I'm glad that you ended up incorporating.
Yeah,
because it's
We
just
did,
so much better, and you have and you're protected, right? In a way. So.
Yeah, they can't go after your assets. It's all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you work for the corporation. You're not.
That's right.
You're just the president. I'm just the president here. I don't.
If M Design Group's going on there, it's M Design Group, not League.
Yeah, they're. That's what the corporate structure is really all about, though. It's really about protection for other assets, that are personal, and that's another thing that the corporation kind of does. So.
Yeah.
So where do you see M Design? I mean, M Designs is kicking butt now. I mean, you guys are up and running. You got a couple employees now.
Yeah, how did that all come about? Like, were you working out of your home first, or what happened?
Yeah, you know what?
We
we got our first home. Yeah, this is our second home. And obviously, I always had an office. I had my system set up, and it was always one of the bedrooms would be converted to the office space. And after a while, I mean, you start making pretty good darn income. You know, your monthly's income is a lot better than your full-time job. Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
So you can start to afford things that can help you structure your business. So yeah, for a while we've hired some help. I got an office manager, and we set up the whole system. I mean, we set up our folder drives. We set up kind of the templates. We did all our marketing.
Like any other firm, he did everything.
Yeah, everything. I mean, physical archives. We set everything up. It was legit. And she was working from home, and I was working from home. And then they offered us some office space. You know, some of the people that we worked with, and I said, hey, it's X amount per month. Could we afford it? And then we looked at our books, and yeah, let's fucking go for it. And it was, you know, like let's try it out. Let's give it a shot. Yeah. And I mean, at the end,
Everything. We've got nothing to lose.
after a while, it just kind of becomes second nature. It just becomes part of the business, you know.
And I always tell Bobby, I think what we did, and I think what you guys also did, was you never bit off more than you could chew, right? You didn't go out and immediately get
a huge office,
place and hire employees, and you know, it was
baby steps.
Baby steps. Yeah, I mean, at first, you know, you think you could do it all, right? So, I was like, how much does my own office cost? And then when they come back and say it's X amount, you're like, oh, never mind. You know, but then your connects and all that, your contacts start to, hey, I'm looking for office space. You know, you start asking around. You know, you got to speak what you want into existence, and then the word's gonna get around. And then, you know, they offered us some office space at a fraction of the price, and now we had an address. You know, that's fucking crazy.
legitimized.
And that counts a lot too. You know, if a client looks you up and it's a house on X street, then it's gonna seem a little sketchy. Some are special like that. You know what I mean?
Well, Bobby, tell him about where you used to work with payroll company.
Well, yeah, Yvette knows. We're in the back of your show.
Oh, I'm talking about Christy and Vicky's.
Oh, when I first started, in the industry. Yeah, I was working. I was working in the garage, basically. I was working in the garage, and as soon as they hired me, they wanted to get legit, so they got an office. And then when you get an office, like, it just legitimizes the whole thing, and we probably doubled in 2 years.
And if you can't afford it, there's I mean, I did this for a while too before we got our office. You can pay for an address. So if you got like, I got my good buddies over at GLS in Palm Desert. I said, hey, I need an address so it looks.
Like name dropping left and right.
Yeah, I got it.
That's okay.
Shout out to my boys, you know.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, I want an address that looks legit. And he's like, dude, for sure, like. And I was able to use a conference room, so that was the first baby step. And now my plans have off of Joni Drive in Palm Desert. You know, it's legit. I mean, you don't have to do a full office. You know, you gotta fake the funk while you can. You know, and
well, and you gotta know too, like you as long as you're producing your work and you're giving them what they've paid for, why not? Right. Yeah. You know, so.
But it like I said, some clients are picky. I mean, I remember a client, we were doing a project, and he's like, well, send me the address, and it better not be a P.O. box. That's what he said. And like I said, it's you know, you might get those clients that, you know, it'll scare them off. You know, if it's a P.O. box or something, some people don't want to work that way. Some people want to be able to go find you, is what it is.
Right.
You know, they want to know that you're a real person and you're not going to run off with their money.
That's true.
For drawings that, you know, they're going to need to build or remodel their house. So it's very personal. Very personal work.
So after you worked with this first guy who answered is he still a client? You're still working with him, or how did you find more clients?
Yeah, we still got a few projects with Shields Residential in construction right now, and
I think a lot, like in the beginning, a lot of it was word of mouth. Like so and so told me.
Yeah, and again, I mean the Craigslist ad was still up there, so you know you'd still get people in, and then. Fortunately, some of those hits from Craigslist were either contractors that have work, year round every year. So I would get returning clients, and then those clients became kind of my regulars, So, and then those guys obviously are in the field, and hey, I need this. Do you know anybody? And then like, oh yeah, use my guy, and then it's just word of mouth is the number one thing that will bring in the business.
Right?
When the reputation's good, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I was working when I was first starting off. There's a lot of people that would, like I said, burn themselves. They would get the money and then not produce, and then that was the end of the line. You know what I mean, for them. And then you have to go somewhere else to look for it. And it's a small valley. I mean, it's going to catch up to you later.
Totally.
Eventually it will. So I think if you're straightforward and legit and honest, and you'll be fine.
And what I love is in my business, like you said, you get your regulars, and you already know how to work with each other. And so it's just like, okay, I know, I know a particular designer that I work with. I already know what she likes. I already know what she's looking for. So I'll get new product in, and I'll go, oh my God, you got to come in and see this, because I know she's gonna love it. So you establish that rapport with your client. So right, that's kind of priceless.
Yeah, I mean, I have new clients that will call me and say, hey, this is M Design Group. Like, yeah, I got your number from so and so, and I haven't worked in over 4 or 5 years with this guy, but the one project that we did for him, he kept my number, and then 5 years later down the line, this is like, hey, do you know anybody? He's like, yeah, call Mari from M Design Group, So it's
just shows that you do good work. 5 years later, they're remembering, hey, this guy knocked it out of the park.
Amazing guy.
Call him.
Thank you. Now I think what M Design Group offers, and what we kind of drive ourselves is, we create a relationship with people. It's not, you're not speaking to a robot or an office manager or a receptionist. It's a direct line with me. Whatever's going on. It's good and bad, but hey, I mean, it's what I want to do. It builds the business. It's how it's been running. So my cell phone has been the same, and that's how people get a hold of me. I'm not changing my number all the time, and you can shoot me a text at 7 or 8 p.m. if you want. And I get in trouble for it, but I'll be like...
But if it's quick, you can just answer.
Of course, yeah.
But we're at dinner, I'm like, you're not answering emails, Renee. You're not answering text messages. It is 7
I've never been that guy that's like, oh, it's 5 p.m. I'm shutting my phone off. Like, no, dude. There's people that they run into some shit or a tough pickle, and if you don't respond to them, they're going to go to the next guy, and then they're never going to call you again. You know what I mean?
So you're being dramatic. It's 9 p.m. They're texting you. They can wait until the morning.
No, that's extreme. At 10 p.m. I won't respond. But, if it's 7:30 or something, and sometimes we've gotten people out of tough pickles because of that, and I think that goes a long way, and I think that's how we kind of build our clientele.
Yeah, it's definitely a balancing act, right? You don't want to upset wifey too much with.
You don't.
Turn after 9 p.m.
Like I said, that's a little extreme.
Right.
So I have a question, because for people that don't know exactly what you do, what does a typical client come to you with, and what do you help them with?
Typical client comes back from the season, right? You get this, what they call the snowbirds, whatever, and they're gonna expand their house, right? They got X amount to spend for a new project at home, and they need to add 400 square feet to the house. So they'll call us, and then kind of walk through what they want to do. What is it, a bigger master bedroom? Is it a bigger kitchen? We want to blow out the kitchen to the back and make it,
So you'll go out to the project. You almost always have.
Yeah, we'll get the initial call, and like I said, hey, I got your number from so and so, and we're thinking about this project. Well, tell me a little bit about your project, and then they'll kind of walk me through a scope of work. And if necessary, I'll do a site visit. A lot of times clients want us to do a site visit. Some I can say, hey, that's enough info. I can get you some pricing. Give me a couple of days. But if not, we'll go out there and see the project in person and say, what is it that you want to do? They walk us through the process. And then we build our proposal and our pricing based off of that scope of work. Okay. And then we build our team, our appropriate team, whether it's going to be structural involved, whatever it might take to get a permit.
Are you the one pulling permits?
We can,
Or are you going, hey, you're giving this to the contractor, here's your drawings,
The majority it is us dealing with the city. It's kind of a whole other conversation, the permit process. But permit it's got to be specific people that pull the permit, but we're the ones that get it approved in order for the city to release a permit. So we do the initial drop off at the city. We deal with the city correspondence. We'll pay the fees, all that stuff, so the client just gets to kick back and wait for the permit. In the meantime, they can hunt for their contractor, their builder, and when the permit is ready, after we go through our process with the city, then we'll contact the owner with the good news. Says, hey, your permit's ready to be issued, and then their builder will go and pull the permit.
Okay, and then are you out of it at that point, or are you doing project management like you wanted to at the very first place?
You know what? How I mentioned at the firm job, I was doing everything from talking to consultants to construction administration. It's not necessary for us to do all that stuff after we get the permit. I mean, we could easily say, hey, our job's done. Good luck with the project, but that's not how we want our company to run. So we'll stick around for the construction aspect of it, in case there's any questions. Yeah. And if they don't contact us, the builders will, because there's always something that happens in the construction. So they'll need responses for any issues that come up, and we're the guys that they'll reach out to, because we're the ones kind of quarterbacking the whole construction document phase. So this happened on the site. Who do we contact? And then I'll look at my team and I'll say, okay, we got to contact the structural engineer or my Title 24 guy. So we're kind of the guys, with the ball. So
you like
where do we go? Yeah, of course. It's very, very challenging, but I think that's why I like this field. It's hard.
It's really good.
And like I said, there's something
well under pressure and stress.
There's something new every day. Every project is new. It's new challenges, and it just kind of builds our arsenal of tools. Like I said, it's really important to build your tools, because whether it's in the field or just in life in general, I mean, those problem-solving skills that you learn, I mean, you can use them anywhere. You know what I mean? Just to kind of get you out of a muddy situation.
Full service over there, huh?
Yeah,
taking the extra mile, and that's customer service.
Everything, the extra mile, man.
The extra mile is why you get referrals 5 years later.
Exactly.
So we're kind of running up against time here. So there's a couple questions we wanted to kind of close with. Where do you see M Designs in 5 years from now? Do you see it expanding? What's your vision for the future for your company?
You know what? We did expand for a while, and I felt it was taking a direction that I didn't like, because it takes me out of kind of that
you can't
manage everything.
It's hard, and you know what? Some people like that. Some people want to be able to just get up in the morning and have the whole team run the business, which is fine, and you can do it. I mean, we're getting to a point where, I wasn't even drawing anymore. I was just talking to the client and then making the numbers up,
stuff up,
and then that was it. And I wasn't producing anymore. I wasn't drawing. It took the creative aspect out of it, which is why I got into the industry. Do I see ourselves expanding? No. I think we kind of learned our threshold. I think a team of maybe 3 or 4 is where we want to be.
Sweet spot.
It's sweet. Yeah. Anything bigger than that, it gets expensive and it gets a lot more stressful, and then it kicks me out of the creative process.
Well, it's perfect that you found that out early, right? Where you're most profitable and where you want to grow to. And if you grow too much, then you're not making as much money, and it's more stress, more strain on the business and you, since you're,
and it's all
everything.
It's all about profit. I mean, let's get down to it, man.
Bottom line, the top line does not matter.
It's not
the bottom line.
Bottom line is we want to make more fucking money, and we got to make a living.
It's true.
It's how do you bring more value for the time in your day, and whatever how much time we have left, let's make it count.
It's no commodity you can't buy. It's time.
That's right.
So a couple of questions we always close with our entrepreneurs is, what's the best business advice you got coming up and going into this thing?
Best business advice. I think it's just pulling the trigger. I think is number one. You know, just pull the damn trigger. If it's meant to happen, it's gonna happen. Like I said, if you really want it, from the beginning, you've kind of been laying out all these pieces that I'm talking about, and it's kind of just destiny. It's
pieces of the puzzle.
Whenever you run
together,
if something gets, you know, a little bit hard, or you don't know something about it, that one piece is gonna come into play. You know, it's gonna be Robert from MyPay Solutions or Fina from. Yeah. You don't know who it is, you don't know what it is, but just pull the damn trigger and everything will just fall in place. It will.
Let the universe.
I promise.
Let the universe do its work, right?
Yeah, don't be scared to pull the trigger.
And last one, what's the worst business advice you got?
Jesus, talk about us.
Right? Yeah, I know you got something. I know you got something.
The worst business advice I think would be not taking something on that you don't fully understand. So just take it on and you'll figure out how to do it. So I know a lot of people that are either in the industry or trying to get into the industry, and then they'll say, I'm not ready yet because I don't know this. Or, you know, it's a whole business, but
you don't grow
from A to F, but you don't know what C is or how to do C. It's like, you'll figure it out, dude. Yep. You know, but so the worst thing is to not do it because you don't know one aspect of the whole thing. And you're never not going to know the whole thing.
No.
You know?
It's too much.
Yeah. So
things are always evolving in design and building.
There's something new all the time.
Yeah. So you just kind of got to go with the flow.
Yeah. So the worst advice is just, you know, letting one of those things stop you is probably the worst. Because then you're never going to know how to do it if you don't want to try to figure it out.
There you go. You got to crawl before you can walk.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for coming on this. I appreciate you guys making the time to come.
Yeah, this was fun.
I learned a lot about you guys.
Yeah, yeah, right.
This is a lot of good nuggets in there for all our aspiring entrepreneurs, you know. And you know, one lesson I did take away from this.
What?
To all you fuck ups out there, there's a chance, right?
There is a chance.
There's a chance to turn it around.
There's a chance.
Right, Mariano?
That's right. Because I was like, I never saw him take a backpack to school. I don't know how he graduated. I was like, oh, bro.
I mean, we could talk for hours about this, man.
From fuck up to business leading entrepreneur, it's right here in front of my face. It can happen, guys. So,
yeah,
you know, hey, if you mess up young in life, hey, you still got
no problem.
Turn it around.
Plenty of time, baby.
Right?
Plenty
You
of
were
time.
smart enough to do it.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
It's not whether you fail, it's how you respond to the failure. So,
exactly.
Fortitude-wise, guys, thanks for coming in. If you found some value today, like, subscribe, and follow, and we'll talk to you guys next time.
Thank you, guys.